Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I'm at the piano because I want to do a breakdown again today, an analysis of the American songbook classic, Over the Rainbow, or maybe you think of it as Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Of course, there's that beautiful Hawaiian version of it. I just was watching The Voice last night, and some guys did a cover of it. But for me, the classic version is like right out of the movie. You know, that beautiful arrangement, including the verse, which hardly ever gets done anymore, and we'll take a look at today. Um, we just did a little breakdown of What Am I Made For? And I said, I think that's my favorite movie theater song of the year. And it made me think, what's my favorite movie song of all time? And it's definitely Over the Rainbow. I bet you know the song, but let's just play through the refrain. That's the part of the song that most of us really have heard an awful lot. The refrain is the one that begins somewhere, right? That part. Well, so listen, we're in the key of C here. But there's more to it than that. Well, there's a lot to this song, and one of the things that I guess I want to touch on is the verse. In a lot of American songbook standards, there's a section of the tune that we frequently don't hear, an introduction to the refrain. The refrain is the part of the song that we know, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But the verse sets everything up, and the lyrics by the great Yip Harburg, music by Harold Arlen. When all the world is a hopeless jumble, and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. And it sets everything up. And I don't know if you noticed this beautiful spare arrangement. When all the world, it begins first with a G, the fifth of the chord, and that's in the accompaniment, and then the pedal C. And then when you go to the F chord, an A, and then the pedal C, C major, B, pedal C, before we release to 2, 5, 1, turn around. So there's nothing really unusual about it except this beautiful way that the accompaniment sort of supports the feeling of propulsion. That repeated C, the pedal tone, against this motion, right? So lovely. The second half of the verses goes back to the original melody. And it goes to the D again, but it's not D minor 7. What we get is B minor 7. B minor 7, E7, A minor. And A minor, of course, the relative minor of C. It makes perfect sense in this context. And it's a reharmonization of that melodic tone. Now, I love this moment right here because the lyric is leading from your window pane, right? There's a rainbow highway to be found leading from your window pane. And the word leading has this. Do you hear how it's a leading tone? It's just like what we were talking about in the Billie Eilish song from Barbie. So leading from your window pane. Here we are. And we have another pedal tone, right? And this beautiful diminished chord. Leading to the 5 chord, and we're really set up. The last 6 bars of the verse make us very excited about what's coming next, and the lyric and the melody work together so well. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. So I love the way the rhyme scheme does this and then pulls together. And then we're off into the song itself. Well, the song itself harmonically is not terribly surprising. That's 1, 6, 3 to the 4 chord. And then this beautiful motion here. I love this E minor 7. And it really is just kind of a version of C, really. I think it's a replacement for the C. F, you could easily go back to C, right? I think like in the Hawaiian version, it does go back to C. But there's something about E minor and this beautiful sink down to F6. There's a land. F6, F minor 6. That F minor 6, the 4 minor 6 chord, it's the feeling of, I don't know what, it's like, I think of it as the Christmas chord, but it's just everywhere, isn't it? 1, 6, 2, 5. But let's talk about the melody. The leap of an octave is hard to do. And then a leap of a 6th, resolving to the 5th of the scale. It's a bit of an apology. And then we're going to have another leap of a 6th, but this time it's in F. So from A to F. And I can't help but feel like this cadence is a bit of an apology for all that difficult work, because once we get to land that I heard of once in a lullaby, it's just scale steps, right? The whole thing repeats. And then that middle section, it's marked dreamily here, and we have just a little trill on the 3rd and the 5th of the C chord. And then a trill on the 3rd and the 11th of the D minor chord, but it's over C to C6. And just a little filler. So this is beautiful sound. C in the bass. It's dreamy, right? Going on into the next section, troubles melt like lemon drops. Away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. It's kind of druggy. D sharp diminished is the same as C diminished, but the bass is definitely D sharp, D minor 6, D7 flat 9, and look at this motion here. In the left hand, I'm going to play everything together. And then the melodic tone is, on me, is A. It's the 9th of G7, and it's really G9. Raised 5. It's a G augmented chord, a very strong altered dominant chord to take us back to 1. And that whole sequence is so beautiful. After that, we're back to the A section, right? And it's really not so different from what we heard the first time, just back to somewhere. Here's the big octave lead. F minor 6, birds fly. You probably noticed that some of these chords have diatonic roots like A and D, and yet they are dominant chords. This is a really common thing in the American songbook writing of the 30s and 40s, and we wouldn't hear that kind of thing really too much today, and yet it creates these secondary dominant chords which propel us forward. We're at the end of the song now, and there's a little, instrumental interlude just of the kind of the trilly thing. And then the very last lyric, it's just a repetition of that dreaminess. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? C6 at the end. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. Let me know what you think about Over the Rainbow. I'll see you next time.